Are these some of the creepiest kids TV show episodes ever aired? I have taken to the internet and compiled a list of TV's 5 darkest kids TV show episodes, and what I find is horrifying. Tom and Jerry, Blue Cat Blues. So, Tom falls in love with a beautiful white cat, but although she returns his affection at first, she eventually leaves Tom for a rich neighbourhood cat named Butch. Jerry tells Tom to move on with his life, but Tom can't let go of his love and desperately attempts to win her back. He showers her with expensive gifts, but Butch always one-ups him with even more impressive displays of wealth. In his last efforts, Tom literally sells himself into slavery to buy her a car, which gets destroyed by Butch's fancier car. Heartbroken and hopelessly in debt, Tom turns to the bottle. The milk bottle, obviously. When Tom sees his former girlfriend and Butch drive away with a just married sign on the back of the car, he gives up on life and sits down in the middle of some train tracks. Jerry tries to make himself feel better by at least telling himself that his girlfriend wouldn't do that, but then mere seconds later, Jerry's girlfriend did drive off with another mouse and a just married sign in the back of their car. Realising that life now holds nothing for either of them, Jerry joins Tom on the track, and then the screen fades to black as the sound of a train whistle approaches them. Rugrats, Angelica's worst nightmare. If you grew up watching the Nickelodeon cartoon Rugrats, you might not have been aware of the heavy themes going on behind the scenes. Now, Rugrats is known to have some pretty dark episodes, but there is none more darker than Angelica's worst nightmare. So the spoiled toddler, Angelica from the show, she enjoys being an only child. So when her mum announces that she's pregnant, Angelica's fragile ego is thrown totally out of whack. Her parents ignore her while discussing the pregnancy, and Angelica begins to worry that they won't have time for her anymore. So Angelica asks her mum to not have the baby. Her mother laughs it off, and the troubled Angelica goes to bed upset and frustrated. In a nightmare, Angelica's baby brother has just arrived, and her parents have forgotten who she is. She's sent to live in the laundry room and eat table scraps, while her brother is given her room and all of her toys. So this gets darker when Angelica's baby brother turns into a giant. The now gigantic baby chases Angelica out of the house and down the road as she tries to drive away in the family car. He catches up with her, he picks her up in the car and starts to eat the car. This is what causes Angelica to wake up screaming. Later on, Angelica's parents tell her that they aren't having a baby. This is probably down to a false positive or a miscarriage, where she acts disappointed, but she's secretly pleased about the sad news. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Freaky Fred. So fans of this show know what they're getting themselves into when they watch this, but when Freaky Fred came out to play, this took a dark turn. Fred is Eustace's and Muriel's nephew, and in season 1 he decides to pay them a visit. Eustace verbalises his feelings about Fred to Courage, so Courage is already nervous about Fred. From first glance and in the first scene with Fred, viewers will now know he's up to no good. He has an obsession with shaving people's hair, and while he seems to have it under control, it all changes when he sees Courage's fur. After listening to stories about Fred cutting the hair of his hamster and then his ex-girlfriends, it's clear that Courage is in huge trouble. There's a reason why Fred is considered the freakiest character on the show. Courage the Cowardly Dog, King Ramsay's Curse. Some of you may argue that all of the Courage the Cowardly Dog episodes are horrifying, but there's a reason I have 2 on the list, and that's because they are a scary show. But King Ramsay's Curse gives Freaky Fred a run for his money. So it starts out innocently enough when Courage is walking around the farm when he stumbles upon a stone slab. It turns out to be an Egyptian relic stolen from a pharaoh's tomb, and it's worth a fortune. Of course, money-hungry Eustace refuses to hand it over, and the trio is promptly haunted by a willowy figure, who is there to cast the 3 plagues on all of them. From the wisps of hair spiralling out the pharaoh's head to the ripped up clothing, everything about this creature is absolutely horrifying. Adventure time. You made me. This one gets pretty dark pretty damn quick. In the scene where Lemongrab and Lemongrab's clone, Lemongrab 2, they're playing with their, I'm quoting, son, Lemon Sweets, it's really just a toy doll, right? So Lemongrab 2 says that Lemon Sweets wants to go to bed, while Lemongrab, the crazier and more sociopathic of the Lemongrabs, insists that Lemon Sweets wants to dance. He grabs Lemon Sweets, which again he is described as his child, and he starts to make him dance, and insists that both of them hate Lemongrab 2. Lemongrab 2 becomes understandably upset and tries to grab the toy away, causing Lemon Sweets to fall on the floor and shatter into pieces. Lemongrab don't really handle this well, but the plot twist is brilliant. He bares his sharp teeth and jumps on Lemongrab 2 and devours him while his clone screams in agony. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that subscribe button and then turn on your notification bell so you won't miss, drumroll please, part 2. Yes, there's going to be a part 2 of this, so make sure you do all of that. Subscribe, yeah, everything, do it now, okay? Thank you so much for making it this far in the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.